is a really unique case across all of the capital cities, right? So Melbourne is the only capital city that is still trying to get out of that decline in price. And it's the same thing, and not just in Melbourne, but across Victoria, actually. So like regional Victoria, like Ballarat, Bendigo, a lot of those places are still in decline in terms of prices. So what happened was Melbourne was the most severely impacted capital city when it comes to COVID. Like
Right.
they were the ones who suffered the most in terms of lockdowns. Brisbane, for example, we had lockdown for like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and not as severe. Sydney has been a couple of times where they've had like a month or maybe a couple of months of lockdowns, whereas Melbourne suffered the most. They had like 4 months of lockdown, not just once, but 2 or 3 times. And so when something like that happens, it really screws up with the economy, basically, because
Right.
then a lot of people a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people had to retrain to find new jobs. A lot of businesses shut down, all of that sort of thing. And so Melbourne is basically the most severely affected capital city when it came to COVID. It closed down the most. And because of that, it took the most amount to be able to try and recover from it now. And so because of all of that inactivity during COVID time, the demand in Melbourne then shrunk quite a bit. And because it shrunk quite a bit, Melbourne actually declined by about 25% in terms of property value when we all came out of COVID.